Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another exclusive and special program of Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz and I'm bringing you some exclusive content from the Magla Greens Golf Club in Islamabad. It is the 16th Chief of the Naval Staff Amateur Golf Cup that we're going to be talking about. We'll know from the players' perspective, from the management's perspective, because one thing is for sure that when you talk about the patronage of golf in Pakistan, it is in very good hands, and we have certain entities who provide the necessary support. And in this case, when we talk about the MGCC, then obviously you have to talk about the role of the Pakistan Navy that is instrumental in not just maintaining this beautiful facility you see behind me, but also now into its 16th edition, this CNS Amateur Golf Cup. And you know, there's going to be a lot of insight into the tournament, talking about the categories, the performance of certain individuals, and then again we talk about the historical perspective of this facility, which is not old. It is one of the newest facilities when you talk about the duration that this facility has been in existence. But once again, like I said, that you can see behind me as well, that one of the most scenic golf courses, not just in the twin cities of Islamabad and Rawalpindi, but generally in the country as well. So there's a lot of exclusive content coming your way, so stay tuned to Sports Extra. I've been joined by somebody who was part of the organizing of this tournament as well, so we'll get a lot of insight of the planning that went in. And obviously, like I said, that this is a tournament that is now into its 16th edition, so obviously, you know, the prestige of this tournament is something that is still there and obviously will continue to do so. I've been joined by Lieutenant Commander Faisal. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. First of all, thank you very much for taking out time. What would you like to tell us about the tournament so far, sir? Obviously, a lot of planning goes in, and then there's a collaboration as well. How has the turnout been so far?
The turnout has been fairly very good because I think this tournament, the CNS Cup, is a very famous cup. We give away good prizes, so we attract a lot of people here. And secondly, it's a very scenic course.
Sir.
So yeah, people enjoy coming here, although it's a very difficult course.
Well, sir, I want to talk about that perspective, that although some people see only the scenic part of it, but you know, when we've talked to many golfers, we've been told that, you know, specifically hole number 5 has been called the skeleton in the closet, that the terrain is something difficult to manage.
The terrain is definitely very difficult to manage. It is all, it's an up and downhill course. Walking here in a normal course, if you go to Islamabad Club, it's after playing here, you don't feel tired at all over there. You can play 27 holes over there, but here 9 holes is also very difficult. So yes, it is a difficult course, although it's a small course. Area-wise, it's smaller. But then because of uphill climbs and downhill climbs, one hole you have to go uphill, second hole you have to come downhill, then again uphill. It makes it, a lot of army people call it assault course.
So we can say the assault course of golfers. So I think that's a new name that can be given to the Magla Greens Golf Course. Sir, now when we talk about the competitive side of this tournament as well, like I said, we had various categories, a lot of diversity has participated. For the sport itself, sir, how important is it to have regular tournaments in this country?
It is very important to have regular tournaments with good prizes or prize money. If you ever seen PGA Tour,
yes, sir.
I mean the kind of money they give away in PGA Tours, and they do attract a lot of good players, and they produce a lot of good players because of that. So yes, you need to invest in tournaments. Navy is doing, Pakistan Navy is doing a lot. It at least holds 2 tournaments a year. Previously it used to hold 3 tournaments a year. One is an open tournament that is held in Karachi Golf Club, and this is the Amateur Cup, which is either held here or in Lahore. Previously we used to hold separate in Lahore and here, but PGF has limited us. So Navy is investing a lot in sports, not only in golf but in other sports too. The thing I want to talk about here is that you need to attract a lot of junior players, a lot of, you should pick up young boys and girls when they are 10 and 12 years old, and that's how you are going to excel in any sports.
Invest in them.
Yeah, you have to invest in them, and that's how you're going to excel in sports. If you pick up any model, go to any Western country or even China, they pick up girls and boys at 10 and 12 years old, and they send them to academies. They study there, they do their routines over there, and by 16 to 18 years they're competing in Olympics. And that is how they get a lot of medals. We too have to do that. In Pakistan Navy is also investing in shooting. In the last 2 Olympics, Pakistan Navy players qualified and went for Olympics. They were the only people who qualified from Pakistan.
Absolutely.
So that is what we are doing. We are using the same formula of picking up young boys and girls and teaching them and coaching them and helping them in their studies so that they can excel in sports and they don't have to worry about their studies.
Certainly, sir. For all the aspiring golfers out there, what would be that one piece of advice that can help them in their way forward?
Golf is a very difficult game. You can't, there isn't one thing, but what I can say is be consistent, don't give up.
Sir.
Be consistent and keep playing.
Certainly. Sir, thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
I now have the honor of being joined by Commander North for Pakistan Navy and also the patron of the Pakistan Navy golf for the northern region as well, Commodore Khan Mahmood Asif. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Yeah,
sir,
good.
First of all, thank you very much for taking out time. I understand the tournament has been keeping everybody on their toes. But first of all, sir, the 16th edition of this prestigious tournament, Chief of the Naval Staff Amateur Golf Cup, how has the response been so far, sir?
Fantastic, absolutely. Previously, we had around 200, 250 players playing with us. This time, it has doubled actually, you know. We reached a figure around 400 plus. So, I think most important thing is that as you can see the club and its maintenance, it's fantastically maintained. The club is very scenic, and Pakistan Navy is actually supporting to maintain this club. And I guess that's the reason that people enjoy playing here, and the greens and the fairways are good. That's why we see more participation this time.
So it's very important to keep the competitive edge of any sport alive. I understand people can go through a daily routine of trainings and, you know, playing a lot of holes on this golf course as well. But, you know, when it comes to competition, and especially with the diversity we have in golf, that is where the real strength is tested. So, you know, Pakistan Navy, like I said, this is the 16th edition of this prestigious tournament and many more to come, inshallah. So how important would you say is that role of Pakistan Navy to be patron in not just maintaining this good facility, but also keeping sure that, you know, various sports, you know, have competitive tournaments all around Pakistan?
Pakistan Navy has always been, to that effect, all the services, armed forces, have always been taking keen interest in promoting and supporting sports in Pakistan. And golf, though not played a lot in this country, but Pakistan Navy has kept this point that we had a golf club in Karachi also and in Islamabad also. So maintaining a golf course is it's not very easy, and patronage is the most important thing. You can see how big this is. 18-hole course is difficult to maintain, and definitely all credit goes to Pakistan Navy and Chief of the Naval Staff for supporting it.
Certainly, sir. The tournament's response, as you mentioned, has been brilliant. We've seen a lot of various categories as well. And I always mention one thing, that for any sport to grow, it's great to see that the younger lot is a lot involved.
Yeah.
And this time as well, we've seen participation from also the female segment and also the youth that is involved. How great is it to see the youth taking interest in this sport as well?
Absolutely fantastic. As I've told you before, that number of participation has doubled. We basically have 4 categories in this match, and which includes gents, ladies, and then seniors. Seniors are like 55 age and above are called seniors in this match. And then we have categories of juniors, in which 14 years to 18 years, girls and boys both take part in this match. And you must have seen young kids, girls, ladies and gents playing these sports, and they are really enjoying it.
Certainly, sir. Sir, thank you very much for taking out time, and I think congratulations for such a successful event.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for you coming here and taking your important point in looking after this through media.
Thank you very much. Now I've been joined by a player who's participating in the tournament, Mr. Mohammad Irtaza, who's going to be talking to us about the tournament and of course his game so far. And I would also like to be, knowing a bit about the golf course as well. Assalamu alaikum Irtaza, how are you?
Walaikum Assalam, I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. First of all, I'd like to ask you about the tournament in general. How has it been for you so far?
The tournament in general has been very good. The course conditions were immaculate, very well maintained, and couldn't have asked for 2 better rounds.
Right. Talk us about the facility as well. As a golfer yourself, you must be playing all around the country. When you talk about this particular golf course, how do you rate it, as far as the terrain is concerned, a lot of other factors that go into golf courses?
So first off, it's very scenic, probably the most scenic golf club in the whole country. And it's really hard to maintain this golf club considering the rocky and undulating terrain. But it's very, very well maintained, and the greens are very true, very responsive, and just an amazing package overall.
Out of all the holes that you've been playing in this golf course, which one particularly did you think was the toughest one to ace, and what particular reason was there as well?
I think the toughest hole was the 16th. A very, very tough pin location. I mean, if you weren't cautious, it could have been a very easy 3-putt, and that's what I did today, unfortunately. But nonetheless, a pretty good round.
So talk us your journey, as a professional golfer now, because obviously growing up there are various sports that tend to attract young individuals, but you particularly picked golf. What was one of the things going into this sport? And then of course, how would you highlight your training routine and whatever you're giving to the game as far as the time is concerned as well?
So I've been playing for more than a decade now, and I chose golf mostly because of my father. But I mean, children often tend to follow their fathers, so that's what I did, and I had a very good relationship with the game throughout this decade. And that's why I stayed with golf. I had many other options. I could have played cricket as well. I have played cricket, but not to the same level as golf. As far as the training goes, I think I give it 3 to 4 hours every day, and it's tough, but we do it every day.
Well, there are a lot of aspiring young golfers out there. I was just talking to one individual where I said that the game is now becoming more diverse than what we've seen before as well. So, what would be your piece of advice to the young golfers who want to take up this sport and, reach the professional level?
The first advice would be to not get disheartened. It's a very cruel game, very, very cruel game. And you think you're getting better at it, but then just one day you want to quit, but then the other day it's very good again. So just keep playing the game and don't get discouraged.
That's a very interesting piece of advice, but I'm sure, the part where you mentioned it's a cruel game, it certainly is.
Yeah.
You really have got to, you got to keep a big heart going into golf. But Irtaza, thank you very much and all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, to talk more about the 16th Chief of the Naval Staff Amateur Golf Cup, I've now been joined, and I'm very honored to be joined by the Honorable Secretary of this Magla Greens Golf Club, and also a person who would be giving us a lot of insight into the tournament and this golf facility as well. I'm very honored to be joined by Commander Majid Sati. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum ji. Kaise hain? How are you?
I'm very well, sir. First of all, thank you very much for taking out time. I understand that the tournament has been keeping you very busy. So first of all, sir, what would you like to tell us? How has it been so far? We're into the 16th edition of the CNS Amateur Cup. How was the turnout, and what is the response of the general people?
Great. First of all, thank you very much once again for giving me the opportunity to talk on our tournament. This tournament here at the Magla Greens Golf Club has 2 major significances. One is that this is the most beautiful golf course in all over Pakistan. It's very scenic, it's very challenging, and at the same time, the kind of administration is put into this tournament. So all the golfers in the region and even from far off cities, they come and participate here. So we have full jam-packed attendance for all the golfers. We have 4 categories this time, and these are junior golfers who are aged 18 and below. Then we had these ladies, and the 2 major categories are the senior amateurs, and the match main players are from the amateurs category who play 3 days. So it's a 4-day tournament, and at the end of the last day, which is tomorrow, we'll also have sponsors and guest match, as we call it, the invitational match.
Yes.
Altogether, 4 days, very busy, and lots of activity. And at the same time, seriously, I'm very impressed by a few of the amateur golfers who have really performed very well in these last couple of days, and today is the 3rd day. And at the same time, I also see a lot of crowd and gallery, which is normally not there in golf courses these days. But I think young people really come in and see this. And for that, to put this all in one shape, I would say that, you know, we had prepared this golf course very well. Over the years, this golf course, like I said, it's very beautiful. It has really come up very well. It's not a very old golf course. There are golf courses in Pakistan who are over 100 years, but this golf is just about 10 years old.
One of the newest.
10, yeah, 10, 12 years old. But now it has started to take on those serious matches. We had a feather in our cap last April when we got this Pakistan's professionals qualifying school match here, and that takes place on the golf course, which is really prepared to take on professionals. Yes, and we were lucky to have that with us. And last week we also had another professional amateurs match just to see the conditioning of a course before this major event. So mashallah, the course is in super shape, and so are the performers and the players who are, you know, displaying, showcasing their talent over here with us today.
Absolutely, sir. The culture of golf has certainly improved over the past couple of years in Pakistan, at least. When we talk about, you know, people initially, some of those who are not familiar with golf have always considered this a game of certain segments of society. But how would you say this evolution that we're seeing, and also there's a junior category in this tournament as well, we're seeing a lot of junior golfers coming up in both male and female categories who are very dedicated to the sport.
You're absolutely right, but the perception about golf for categories, for some special people, I don't think that's right. Yes, because if you really look at the professional level, professional golfers are the top level golfers of any country. So all the professional golfers, they all come from humble background. Once I say humble, what I'm saying is that, I mean, it's not easy to have all that golf equipment and everything, but they are from generally humble background, and they have excelled to the level par excellence.
Up the ranks, yes.
Yeah. And at the same time, with the recent development of this golf in our country, at least I would say about 15 years or so, this has really taken up pace, and that is majorly because of 2 things which I think. One is, of course, you people, the media, you know, who always promote sports in general and golf in particular. And second, as you said, that probably this is some expensive game, but it's not. With China in market, and you know, this what do we call it, used equipment available in market, so things are generally you know, it's affordable,
accessible. Yes.
Yeah, it's affordable, accessible. And at the same time, I would like to mention that people of Pakistan are sport lovers, and the sponsors of golf and the sports, they always help talents. You know, so if there's a talent, like I would like to mention here, there's a professional golfer who ranks number 2. He's about 24, 25 years of age, from a relatively humble background, but somebody sponsored him, and today he's our brand ambassador. His name is Ahmed Beg. So there are so many other such examples where really affordability is not an issue.
Yeah, talent is given patronage. That's good.
And you might have heard about these professionals or amateurs assistant called caddies. So normally all the clubs, all the sponsors, all the players, all the organizations, they really help these caddies to take up this golf. And we organize a lot of matches for these caddies and junior professionals and other such talent, so that bar of some special people is kept aside, and the talent comes up, and this is how we produce very good amateurs and professionals. I would also like to mention that the ladies have also taken up this golf very seriously. Last summer we had this summer camp for junior girls, and I tell you, there were 50 of them, and they were so serious about this game that at least 3-4 of them, they are not regular golfers with us. So I keep on telling them that this is the way. If they do it, I'm sure they're going to show some super golf to all of us. So,
That's interesting, that that pool of players is increasing, and there's so much talent and diversity now in golf. So finally, I must ask you about, like you mentioned, this golf facility as well. There is no doubt about it. It's one of the most scenic golf courses, not just in the capital Islamabad and twin cities of Rawalpindi, but generally Pakistan as well when we talk about certain golf courses. One of the newest in the country as well when we talk about this. So talk us through the maintenance of the facility, the teamwork, and obviously I understand it's not easy, but then again facilities and the maintenance, because I'm a witness of this, is top notch over here.
Without maintaining a golf course and without continuously having support from somewhere, the golf course won't run. It's an expensive and very professional requirement to have a golf course. So we have this 18 holes golf course, which is just over 200 acres, I believe, and this requires a lot of tricky maintenance because it has little hilly areas, some tough places, lot of rain and winters and summers, and the membership is good enough but not good enough to support us in maintenance. But it is Pakistan Navy. It's Pakistan Navy. Always Pakistan Navy. Anybody who is in charge, he is there to support. And this is because of our members, and especially Pakistan Navy, who looks after this golf course, who looks after the members, who looks after all our requirement regarding the maintenance of this course. And this is why in last about few years, I think it has achieved a status where professionals come and play their matches. So I hats off to my Pakistan Navy. Yeah.
Well, certainly, Commander Majid, thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations on a successful event, and I'm sure that of many more to come over the years. But thank you very much, sir, for taking out time.
Thank you very much. Looking forward for you to cover us and just promote this game as well for us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have with me Colonel Shahid, who is also participating in the tournament and of course an avid golfer. We'll be knowing from him as well about the tournament and some more general things about golf and the facility. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm fine.
Sir, thank you very much for taking out time. How's the tournament been so far, first of all?
I believe it's been wonderful. It's a great opportunity which has been afforded to us by Serena and the Navy golf course, and people are taking full advantage of this opportunity and playing very well.
Sir, we've heard that there's a large number of golfers who have been attracted to this tournament. This is one of the scenic golf courses we have in this twin cities and also in this country. How would you rate the golf course, first of all, as a golfer?
Seeing the scarcity of golf courses in Pakistan, there are very few quality golf courses, and this is one of the very good golf course, which provides an opportunity to play in some of the international golf environments. And I think people have loved this opportunity, and they're making full use of this opportunity.
Yeah. So it's become a bit of a cliche, but I tend to ask people this who are participating, which has been the most difficult hole to ace on this golf course, sir?
There are a couple of the difficult holes, because this course is generally otherwise not very easy. Sir. It's one of the difficult courses, and especially the speed of the green and the slopes, they are not easy to handle. So I would say one of the toughest hole to me, that is hole number 5, which every time I come and I try to make a par, and every time I end up making a bogey. So sometimes I make even doubles. So that is probably the toughest.
So it's become a skeleton in your closet up till now.
Yeah, that's quite haunting actually. Sir. Yeah. So once we reach the tee, so we know that something is going to happen.
Yeah, this is hole number 5. Sir.
Yeah, because this OB on the right side, and if you go, there are trees. So if you got caught up in the trees, you are going to make a bogey, and the green is also sloping. So it's quite difficult.
But interestingly, sir, from a psychological perspective, as a sportsman, if you ace that hole, the confidence level would be sky high that today I've aced number 5.
Actually, that hole, if you ace that hole, that would be something which would give you confidence that all those holes would be seemingly very easy,
sir,
after that difficult hole.
Absolutely. Sir, you know, there's a lot said about the competitive edge of golf in Pakistan, and we're seeing a lot of diversity as well. A lot of youth is interested to join the sport, which is, I think, a good omen for the sport itself in Pakistan. What should be the way forward, sir?
I think golf is something which has not actually actualized. Its full potential hasn't been actualized. People actually don't know what the game is and how healthy it is, how useful it is in terms of social and physical and all these benefits which we can draw from the golf. So I think awareness is the answer. As much as people are aware that how interesting and how useful this game is. And secondly, the provision of the golf courses, quality golf courses all around, all in the Pakistan, in all cities. Because you see there are only few cities which have probably 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 golf courses, but they're not enough. We need to build more golf courses and make people aware that the golf is one of the top-notch game, and one should indulge in golf beside other sports.
Sir, how important does the patronage element then become? Because obviously to maintain this facility is not easy. And considering a certain situation when we talk about sports in Pakistan, there are certain limitations that come in. And, you know, over the years we have seen that, especially with golf, the armed forces have done a terrific job in making sure that not only do they maintain such facilities, but make them available for general people as well, and also for the competitive tournaments. So how important is that patronage element, sir?
I think Army and the armed forces, they have done exceptionally well in maintaining these golf courses. But the maintenance of the golf course is not an easy job. It requires a lot of manpower and resources also. So I think public sector and the civil enterprise, they should come forward and they should establish golf courses by themselves. Like one we are seeing in Lahore. But that's ironically that's also a part of the DHA. So that's not something which we can term it from the public or private sector. But I think private sector needs to come up, and those who can afford and who can own golf courses, that would be very good for the game of golf.
Certainly, sir. Lastly, any secret hidden tip or any piece of advice to young aspiring golfers out there?
We have joined the golf at the age of 40. And still, we have been trying, but we couldn't reach that level where we were supposed to be. So I think if we pick up this game in the early age, we might be seeing some Tiger Woods and some good players
from Pakistan.
From Pakistan on the international circuit.
Inshallah. Sir, thank you very much for your time and joining us, and sir, best of luck for future games.
Thank you.
Right, now I've been joined by Commodore Imran. We will be talking about the tournament and also this beautiful facility over here as well. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum assalam ji. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. Thank you very much for taking out time. First of all, sir, do tell us about the tournament. How has it been so far?
It's been great so far. I mean, it's almost the 4th day, and I've not seen so many people participating in this championship before. I've seen twice or thrice I've been here, but this time the participation was great, and you can see the weather is outstanding for the golf. Yesterday it was a bit rainy and muddy, but still we managed, and today it was wonderful. It's a great time to play golf here.
Sir, this tournament, prestigious tournament, of course, is now into its 16th edition. And then we see this facility as well. And it's very important for people to understand that for any golf course to have, you know, a long-term surviving rate, whether we call it or whether we talk about the maintenance to be consistent, patronage is very important. So how would you like to highlight the role of Pakistan Navy in not just maintaining this one of the most scenic golf facilities in Pakistan, but also in making sure that the competitive edge of golf stays alive through these tournaments?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to tell you it's not only the golf which is being patronized by the Navy.
Yes, sir.
You must be knowing that we are holding CNS International Squash, CNS National Hockey Championships,
Sure.
Sailing Championships. So Navy is doing a lot to promote sports in Pakistan, and golf is one of those. We have been doing it for last, I mean, it is the 16th, as you said, episode of this golf. We have hired so many youngsters. We have hired a number of youngsters just on the basis of golf, and that is a great service. I mean, holding these championships and providing opportunities to the youngsters and golfers to play is one thing, and the other thing is how do you support the upcoming players? How do you support them? So we have actually hired a lot of them, and we are taking them gradually, and we hired some of them as junior golfers. Now they are senior professionals, and that is how we are promoting this sport in the country.
Definitely.
And although, as you said, this is a scenic course,
Sir.
it was not easy to make it, to
Yes, sir.
prepare it. It was one of the most difficult thing to do. Had you been here, I've been here, I was here in 2010 when it was it was coming up. This was very difficult to make, and the hard work put in by our seniors, I mean, that bore fruits, and now it is in this shape. Had you come here 2 months ago, it would have been lush green and even beautiful than this, as it appears now.
Absolutely. Yes, I understand. I think, like I said, you know, to maintain it is a whole new level.
Yeah.
That there's an entire team effort, and patronage is very important. So finally, I'd like to ask you about the diversity we now see in golf, particularly, you know, even in this tournament, we understand we've got 4 categories, but like you mentioned, a lot of youth has been given livelihoods by Pakistan Navy. So a lot of youth element, and also from the female segments of society, we're seeing a lot of diversity in golf, sir.
Yes. In this regard, unfortunately, we have very few female members, but a lot of ladies play here, even then, because there are a lot of, I see a lot of foreigners coming here. They are Koreans, they are Chinese, and they prefer this course because of the peace they find here to play. The atmosphere is wonderful, and the place is lovely. I think we need to somehow add on to some female players, which are very few. They are wives of some officers and maybe daughters, but not so many ladies come here to play. Had these foreigners not been there, it would have been almost few.
So increasing that pool is one task that
we need to do that, yes.
Certainly.
We
Sir,
need to encourage.
Sir,
to
definitely.
encourage them.
Comrade Imran, thank you very much, sir,
Thank
for
you.
joining us, and all the best, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Now I've been joined by Captain Alam, who is also part of this tournament, so we'll be knowing about the tournament itself and also how has it been so far. Assalamu alaikum, sir, how are you?
Walaikum salam, I'm very well, thank you, Ahmed.
Sir, thank you very much, first of all, for taking out time. How's the tournament been so far? That is obviously now a bit of a cliche question.
The tournament by far has been very well, collectively and individually for me as well. So I've had 2 days of game, and I'm still there, struggling, but still there. So that means the game is going well for me as well. So overall the tournament is going very well.
Sir, talk us through the Magla Greens Golf Club. Like we often talk about it, it's not one of the oldest in this country. You know, as far as major golf courses in Pakistan are concerned, it is amongst some of the new that have been there. Not, like I said, not a long history. But when you talk about the terrain and everything that you've seen as a golfer, what would you like to tell us about it?
This has been a recent development in terms of a golf course coming up in the city of Islamabad itself. But I've been to a number of courses across the country and abroad as well. But trust me, the kind of scenic views that you have at this course are absolutely mesmerizing. Fantastic greens, fantastic fairways, and the ambience itself and the environment. You're right, you're playing inside the Magala Hills. So you have Magala Hills on one side. The Faisal Mosque is right in front of you. Throughout the course, wherever you're playing from, you have a great view of the hills and the Faisal Mosque as well. So as you go up the course towards the hills, you have a wonderful view of the entire city of Islamabad and Pindi as well. So I think in terms of the beauty of the course, I'm yet to see any course which is more beautiful than this course, in this country at least.
And now we come to the technical part of it, the difficulty of the course itself, and also, I mean, for you individually particularly, which is that one hole that becomes the skeleton in the closet. Someone has told us 5, somebody said 16, but you know, from the professional perspective, how would you see the course?
I'm not a professional per se, but nonetheless, since I play golf and I'm a lower handicapper, so that puts me into a slot where I can comment on the subject. The course is very challenging, both in terms of physical challenge, because it's pretty undulating. You have holes where you have to walk up to the holes, and you need a certain amount of strength to do that. So that's one challenge, which is the physical bit. And then the way the greens have been created on this course, they're very challenging as well. So the speed and the undulation in the greens becomes a challenge. There are a number of challenging holes on the course, but if there was one that I was going to put my finger on, that should be hole number 5.
So, like I said, a lot of people mentioned hole number 5 to be that skeleton in the closet, and then I told them maybe you can look at it at a perspective that if you ace 5, that means you're having a good day on the course.
Absolutely, that's how it is. You do well on 5, you're good to go for another couple of holes.
Yeah, so 5 becomes eventually your lady luck that you need on this course. Well, sir, I mean, this prestigious tournament now into its 16th edition, and you know, the Chief of Naval Staff Amateur Cup, it's seen a good attendance this time as well, and also the fact that the patronage by Pakistan Navy of this golf course and many other sports, you know, then transcends into a consistent, you know, structure that we see. How important has it been, you know, when you talk about this patronage and this tournament now into its 16th edition?
Pakistan Navy has been sponsoring this event, like you already said, the 16th time. Apart from this, there is another tournament which is held annually, which is contested by most of the professionals in the country. So in terms of patronage, Pakistan Navy has done a lot. They have contributed to the game of golf tremendously. We see that the top players of the country come and play our games. They enjoy the golf tournaments at the Sisinas tournament, which is normally held at Karachi or at Lahore. We see that most of the top golfers of the country come and play. So I think when you say in terms of patronage, Pakistan Navy has done really, really well and is still continuing to do so. From the amateurs perspective, this is also an annual event. 16th time this year, and we see that there are going to be many more in years to come, inshallah.
Certainly. So now it's a bit of a tricky subject, but then again I think it is important for us to you know, talk about this, and you know, at least the awareness needs to start. When we talk about a structured approach of improving golf in this country, or establishing certain structures where we can not only attract talent but harness that potential for international level. We see a lot of diversity now coming up. I think a lot of young boys and girls are interested. But what's the way forward?
I think awareness is one to start with, and then the Golfing Federation has to take the lead. In recent years, I've seen there have been a tremendous addition to the game of golf by young boys and girls, and they're playing very well. All they need is support from the Golfing Federation in Pakistan. If they sort of help these children to be groomed in the game of golf, I think there is a lot of potential. Unfortunately, since we do not have many golf courses and not the every strata cannot participate in this particular game, selective people come to the golf courses, but those who do are now really coming up in large numbers. Youngsters especially. I see that very young boys and girls have shown a lot of interest in this game, and they have a lot of scope. We can become a leading golfing country as long as there is support from the Golfing Federation.
Sir, in this regard, how important does that public-private partnership model come in? Because obviously certain corporate segments of this country realize that they've got a responsibility as well. Obviously, we've got economic limitations when it comes to Pakistan.
I think a number of tournaments in the country are being sponsored already by the corporate world. So the banks are sponsoring, some big conglomerates are sponsoring the game of golf. Pakistan Army leads. They have an annual tournament. Navy and Air Force also have their tournaments. A little bit of harmonization is required. And like I said, the lead has to be taken by the Golfing Federation. They need to get involved and bring on board the corporate sector and be able to produce substantial amount of support for our upcoming golfers. I think that's the only challenge we have in this country. They need to be supported primarily economically and then be able to travel the globe. Once they're trained, they need to go abroad and play more games with the contestants outside of this country, which will of course be a better grooming and will produce much better sportsmen in years to come.
Certainly, sir. Lastly, some words of wisdom or a bit of advice, some secret to young aspiring golfers out there.
I think commitment, dedication is what they need. We don't have dearth of talent in this country. All we need is for these youngsters to be dedicated and remain committed to the game of golf. This game by far needs a lot of time. To become a good professional, you have to spend a lot of hours on the course and practicing. Only that's the way you can excel and become world level golfers.
Well, someone did say it's a cruel game, so I guess those words of wisdom will really help. But Captain Alam, thank you very much, sir, for taking our time. It's been an honor, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Well, that's it. You've heard from all the people involved in this 16th Chief of the Naval Staff Amateur Golf Cup. You've heard it from the players, from the management's perspective as well. One thing is for sure, that this has been an absolutely classy tournament. It's seen some fierce competition, but at the same time, it's also seen diversity in all of these various categories as well. And I think congratulations to Pakistan Navy for taking up the patronage of this tournament as well. And not just the tournament, but this golf club. When you talk about the Magla Greens Golf Club, you talk about a historical perspective over here of being one of the most scenic golf courses in Pakistan, and then the facility, the maintenance of it is top notch. So I think all in all, it's been a successful event. And one thing is for sure, that you know, when you talk about the evolution of golf in Pakistan, the diversity, there are many tournaments that are now making their way through the calendar of golf in the entire year. And certainly when we talk about the CNS Amateur Golf Cup, it is one that is truly attracting a lot of talent and a lot of competition. That wraps it up from me and the entire team of Sports Extra. It's goodbye for now.